with Maddog Merv. I really apologize for having the camera like this. I'm not sure how to get into the advanced settings and change it. The orientation used to be fine till my phone updated. And because I'm just not that technology savvy, I'm not sure where the advanced settings are on this app to get it where it belongs. So someday I'll get it figured out. But welcome to morning coffee. I do have a frog in my throat today. I tried to evict him. He wouldn't leave. I hate it. We are out on the veranda this morning in front of the doghouse. And we're playing ball with the healer. Turn the camera around here for a minute. Oh, that was weird. Okay. So, as you can see, I got new grass yesterday in parts of the lawn. It's still dormant, the grass that they cut. Well, it's coming out of dormancy, but yeah, it definitely is different than the nice green patches I have. But the dogs and winter this year was really rough on the yard. So, hence, I needed to get some new grass. And Cruella is just loving this stuff. Good catch. She's pretty good at that. So, I don't have a shout out today. Honestly, I have done absolutely nothing in the way of watching anything on YouTube this week. It was a busy, crazy, and not necessarily wonderful week, but at least the weather was good, so that's a plus. For those of you who tuned in last week, what did we do on the main show? Oh, it was the school. Okay. So, as I've explained before, the state board of education said, hey, Salt Lake City, you guys are running kind of overstaffed, whatever. You got more schools than you got kids, basically. And to continue to get funding, which is, how public schools work, well, they really needed to close some schools and tighten things up a bit. And it was recommended that they close a bunch of schools from the state. So the Board of Education got together with the parents, a bunch of meetings, looked at enrollment, looked at the facilities, decided we're going to close 4 schools. So far of those 4 schools, I've done a show on 3 of them. The 4th one we'll probably do in a couple weeks. Well, a few weeks before school closes. Gets out for the year. So with them closing these schools, they're all older, established schools. Now, when I say school, I'm not saying school building. A school building is a pile of bricks, and there's a lot of old school buildings around the city that are used for other things. In fact, one of these days, we're going to take a tour of a couple of them that used to be schools a long time ago, and now they're something completely different. And I think that's wonderful to be able to repurpose them, reuse them, and have them around. So when I say school, that's a little different. A school, to me, is the community. It's the kids. It's the parents, the teachers. All of that. And sometimes in a legacy, you're talking 2 or 3, even 4 generations that will go to the same school at some point. Oh, that is so good. So far as our legacy and our family, I think high school. There's a high school that we've had 2 generations go to, but I don't think 3 yet. But some of these buildings some of these schools that they closed, they had been around since, one of them for sure, since the 1890s. So it's a big impact on a neighborhood to have something like that happen. The building still stays, and the school district so far has looked at moving some other programs, because now school's not just K through 12. You have to have 1,000 other programs, pull-out programs, and special programs, and all this kind of stuff. I hate to say it, it's a little ridiculous, but anyway, it's public education here. And what happens is that takes up a lot of room in these other schools. So now they're going to realign boundaries, and a couple of the schools are closing. They're going to use the buildings for other other programs, if you will. So don't know if they're planning on selling any. I know that with the way real estate is here in this state, they'd get enough just off of selling one of the properties. They'd get enough to rebuild an entire school easily. So anyway, hopefully you guys like that show, and we'll have one more coming up in May sometime, maybe the 1st of June, on the 4th school that's being closed. On the Kit Hoarder Stash, we had this Salt Lake City. So I had a uncle who served aboard the USS Pensacola, and I've mentioned this before. During the Battle of Iwo Jima, he was a backseater in a float plane, and he and the pilot were out doing observation work for the artillery, for the ship's artillery, and they came across the Japanese Zero that started strafing them. And through some luck and skill, and the fact that probably this pilot was not very well trained, they were able to shoot down a Japanese Zero with a Kingfisher. Now, most of it came from the guy in the front seat, the pilot, but my uncle was the back seater, and he was also decorated for it, given a commendation for it. So having a model of the Pensacola is going to be kind of neat here. Hey guys, how's it going? All of a sudden I see comments. That's great. I'm doing good, MP. Thanks for joining us today. It's hopefully you guys, well, the rain in Spain. There's no rain in Spain this time of year. Portugal's always beautiful, is what I have heard. So hopefully you're having a good day. And Chris, it's always good to see you, my man. I don't know if you got over to the model show, well, the mini model show, the MRS Appreciation Day yesterday. I don't know if you went or not. Mark and I made a quick appearance, and there was some really neat stuff, and I'll talk to you guys about that in just a minute. Anyway, so I also have wanted a model of the Salt Lake City for a while, and you guys know I bought that one from China that still am waiting the replacement parts. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're gonna be I don't know what it is in Celsius, but we're gonna be in the mid 70s today, here in Salt Lake. So it's gonna be a perfect day. Hardly a cloud in the sky, MP. So it's gonna be very, very cool. Anyway, with the Salt Lake City, I've been wanting one of those for some time. I did actually own the kit years ago, traded it for an Arizona, and now I have a kit with as you saw, all those upgraded parts. I kind of almost want the old kit back. Wow, there's a lot of detail in those parts. It looks awesome. But it's going to be a major project. So maybe this winter, I don't know, we'll see. I think the other one, that Pensacola, I think I am going to get it done before too long. I just need to fix one more part on it, and then I can put all that stuff together. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let me tell you about yesterday. The hobby shop that I'm affiliated with and used to do a lot for, MRS Hobbies, they have two locations, and their home location is about 12 miles from here in Sandy, Utah. And from pretty much March until October, or maybe, I don't know if they do it in November or not, but every month they have a customer appreciation day, which is really cool for a hobby shop to do. And they have pizza for lunch and drinks. Oh, you're okay. In 172nd, that is, so it's a ZIL 157 in 72nd. It's got to be fairly small. So I have a lot of respect for that. Building these 350th scale ships. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see pictures of it. My email is on my page somewhere. And if you get a chance, email me a picture. I'd love to see it. Love to see that. MP, that would be awesome. So yesterday, they do different themes every month. One month is like cars, another month is armor, one is aircraft, a bunch of other stuff that they do. And this was fantasy and sci-fi. So you got a bunch of really neat figures. There was like Starship Enterprise and a few, Star Wars pieces, that kind of stuff. It was really, really neat. And some of them were really like, wow, this is really cool to see this, Figures that I couldn't possibly do. And then they had one that was like this tall, and it had LEDs in part of it. A lot of work goes into some of that fantasy and sci-fi. The fun part is, for the most part, you can use your own creativity. You don't have to worry about getting the right color or all the right details for certain era. You just build it and use your creativity. So it's fun to see. It's fun to see what comes out. There was about 15 models on the table, and they have a raffle, and I won an item at the raffle. Woohoo for me! It's a fun way for that store to kind of give back to the community. I really respect that. It's one of my rules of success. It's actually, I stole it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. His rules for success, always give something back. And I think that that's great that the hobby shop does that. Unfortunately, they closed their Salt Lake location, and that was my favorite, as you guys know. So anyway, coming up on the stash. When we were young, so this goes way back, guys. When we were young, when I was a teenager, some of my favorite kits were those monogram car models, like the 24 scale Camaro Z28. It was a 69 Camaro, but the body was not properly shaped. Then there was a 66 Chevelle. There was a few others that they had. And I loved those because they were easy to build. They fit pretty good. And just the way they were engineered, it was something that you could build you could easily build it in a couple of days and have it done and have something really cool on your shelf. Well, they have re-released most of these as Revell kits. It's Revell monogram. Hey, thanks for sending that, MP. I just got that, so I'll take a look at it in a minute. I opened up this kit. So this is the 1966 Malibu that they came back out with a couple of years ago. Originally, it was black and it had a snorkel hood scoop and it had flames. It was really cool. And I built it, tilt front end, really sweet little kit back in the day. Then they re-released it a couple of years later with a different hood scoop, and this time it was orange and it had some different stripes on it. The engine was a little bit different. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Um, you'd open these up and you'd look at them and just like 5 or 6 different parts in them between the two of them. Well, now they've combined it into one kit, so you've got the option to build either or. And as I'm reviewing this thing, which you guys are going to see on Thursday, you're going to see it on Thursday when I review it. I think it's better than any MPC kit that's out there. Okay, the old AMT, old MPC, and I dog on MPC, but honestly, AMT and MPC shared a lot of the same molds over the years. You'd see one branded as an MPC, and then a couple of years later, next time it was released, it was an AMT. But some of them were pretty good kits, and a lot of them weren't. And MPC, in my experience, the ones that have the words MPC on it are usually the dog-ear of the two. Well, this old Revell kit, it's no dog. It doesn't have all the real hard detail. It doesn't have a lot of parts. So, for example, your fender wells on this kit, you got a fender well on this side and a fender well on this side. It's got the shock in it. It's got the leaf spring, the front leaf spring suspension in it. You could easily make it, they could have easily made it 4 or 5 parts. Oh, that's right. You're right. That 69 Olds 442, that is, yeah, that is a pretty decent kit. But I'm just saying that these Revells, I haven't run into a real bad one, except I think it was a Revell. Remember that old 53 sedan delivery wagon? That one was kind of a dog, but that was a 25th scale, so it couldn't have been a monogram mold. Anyway. Thanks, Finnegan. It's actually good to see you here, man. The Chevelle we're gonna look at on Thursday. I love the fact that it's got two different options you can do with it. I just wish it came with some different wheel options. It comes with these centerline looking things, and I remember the black kit used to have the dish mags, the 5-slotted dish mags, which I much prefer to center lines. That's just me, though. Anyway, so that's what's coming up on the Kit Hoarders Stash this week. Other things that are going on. So, sun is getting in my eyes. So, Pete, from over in England, I wanted to just let you know, my daughter, who's staying here with me, had booked a trip a couple of years ago, a tour, and she's been in London for the past 3 days, is heading to Scotland as of today, and we'll be back real soon. But she's over in your neck of the woods, and she sent me lots of really neat pictures from England, and it is a little bit different for someone who's never been there before. And she's having the time of her life. Absolutely loves it over there. So the other thing that's going on, besides me throwing ball to that stupid dog, so I got this new mug. I've got a couple of new mugs. And what I like about this one is it's big. This will hold a lot of coffee. Oh yeah. Good stuff. But anyway, I got these 2 new pirate mugs. I really wanted to, for the Pillage and Pirate Tavern, have something that was just going to be really neat as far as a cup to drink out of. And I was looking to maybe get an old authentic pewter, type cup that they used in the 1700s. And then I ran across this, and I'm like, oh, I can't pass that up. So Um, so, Finnegan, I think on that IROC Z, I haven't seen the kit. So I'm going to say I have not seen the kit, but I can pretty much guarantee that it's a re-release of something that they have done at some point in time. I'd have to look it up. So sorry, I don't have the accurate information at the moment, but it is more than likely something that they have repopped. One of the things I've seen in snap kits is a lot of snap kits came from what do they call them, the dealership models that they had. I can't remember what they're called now. I'm gonna have to move back a little bit. Promo cars, that's it, promo cars. But some were just made as snap kits. So again, I'm not sure. Sorry, I'll have to check that out, and maybe I should have an answer next week. I could just say that. Yeah, promos, that's the right thing. Hate sometimes I can't think. Snap together kits. There's some really cool snap together kits. I'm gonna say that. I was of the old school opinion years ago, because I've been building cars since I was 6-7 years old, and I was of the opinion you had to have the opening hood and you had to build the engine and all that kind of stuff. And I never got into the Fujimi or the Tamiya kits, any of those, because they were curbside. Until I was given one, and it was actually a 73 Challenger, and I think it was ARIIRE, if I'm correct. It was a 124 scale, and I thought, curbside, really? Really? And then I kind of realized that once I build a kit and I put it on the shelf to look at it, I'm not playing with the hood. I mean, after I build it, the chances that I'm ever going to open that hood again are like maybe one time. So I kind of realized, hey, curbside is really cool. You can get some different kits, like the Mad Max car that Aoshima, was it Aoshima put that out? And that Mad Max car, I love that thing. And it's a curbside, no engine in it, and it's fine. It's just fine. So I eventually kind of, I guess, grew up mentally and went, oh, yeah, I guess I could build something that's curbside. And yes, a lot of the, I think it was Revell put out the Slammer series. Those of you who remember the Slammer kits, and they were curbside. Some of them didn't even have interiors. They just had darkened out windows. One that comes to mind was a Christine, the Plymouth Fury. But they had others that were really neat, and they were cool. I mean, you could build them the way they were and put the decals on them, and they looked neat. Or you could paint them up, customize them. And if you wanted to cut open the hood and put an engine in, if you were that so much, you could do it. But I never did it. Slammers had some of the best tires and rim combinations. So, and I don't know if they were original productions from Revell. I don't know if they were originally promo cars. I have no idea, but it'd be fun to look into it. Scalemates. If you haven't been to Scalemates has a lot of really good information on old kits. So, Raphael, good to see you. Hopefully the weather is good where you are too, my friend. Like I said, it's going to be a beautiful day here. Mid 70s. We're in the middle of kind of a nice weather stint. Of course, next weekend for my birthday, it's supposed to rain. Sorry, trying to get you out of the sun here, guys, but that's difficult. You know what? We're just going to move this way a little bit. There. Yeah, I got to move around. Yeah, I like that. That they show the timeline on the releases. It's been very helpful as I do reviews, and it's been helpful to understand sometimes where kits originate from, because these molds wind up moving around to different companies. And I never knew that when I was younger till I got into till I actually got into the hobby business. Well, hello, Brad. Good to see you. Hopefully things are going well where you are. It was a busy and productive week here. I was showing the guys earlier that I'll show you guys again. Got new grass. I needed it, as you can tell by all the patches. Between the fact that we just didn't get a lot of snow cover this year, we wound up with kind of a wet and boggy yard, and between the kids, myself, and the dogs, we just kind of wore holes in everything. So had to get new sod, and finally got that in yesterday, and hopefully within 2 weeks or so, it's gonna look pretty good back here. So super hobby. I have run into them. I've seen that. I need to pay better attention when I look at what is on sprues, particularly in car kits. And I'll give you an example. Recently, I was on a Facebook page looking at a certain kit that somebody was showing a picture of, and the kit comes with a squirrel, a 25th scale squirrel. And I couldn't figure out what the kit was. There was a picture, partial picture of the box, so I kind of started doing some image searches, and I found that it was in that 63 Nova station wagon kit that somebody reviewed about 3 years ago. And I forgot that I had a squirrel in it. So I immediately got a hold of my friend Dave, and hey Dave, remember that 63 kit? Does it still have the squirrel in it? Yeah. It sends me a picture. Okay, because I want to resin cast that puppy. Oh yeah. I remember that. In Omaha, that was really cool. That Volkswagen, it was a Beetle, wasn't it? That he had. I don't know that I'm going to make nationals this year because it's up in Wisconsin, meaning I would have to fly. I don't fly well. I have a free trip. In other words, it's paid for by an organization that wants to fly me to Chicago in July. Which I've been to Chicago a couple of times, and it would be nice to go back and be with my peers and whatnot. It'd be a business trip, which is good. I'm having a real hard time because it's a flight, and I'm not a good flyer, and particularly I'm not good in those stupid cattle cars they put you in where you got this much room to sit. So I don't know. We'll see. I know that Loic said he's not going. Not Great Models. Kit Links is not going up to Wisconsin this year. If he was, I'd go with him, but he said no. He's not going. So I don't think I'm going to make nationals this year. Sorry. Probably we'll be down in Las Vegas for the Best of the West show that they're having next month. Yeah, that was fun, Brad. Bringing back the memories of nationals, that was a lot of fun. It was good to see you guys. It was fun to intermingle with some of the international guys, those guys with the books from England. They were a kick. Those guys were a lot of fun. Of course, interacting with some of the international vendors that were there, some of the manufacturers, the owner of Kinetics, all of the guys from the Eastern Bloc, outside of Russia. Always fun to get with all those guys. People like John Vostok. I really dig him. He's a cool dude. Anyway, yeah, I miss the Nationals group. Let's just put it that way. They're a fun bunch of guys to get together with, and it's nice to be able to get together with the ones from out of the country and kind of go through just different things that are happening. So I really do enjoy Nationals, and I know that it's something. It's a great experience for me because I like to meet the people. I like to meet the customers. I like to be able to put a face and a name to the people that either we've sent merchandise to or we've interacted with, and we're all modelers, so it's a fun group. Let's put it that way. So this week, I barely touched the Guam. Just was doing a few other little projects. We'll cover soon some of these other projects, but mainly I was trying to get that demon finished up. Now that demon's tomorrow's show, so I have some assembly to get done here in a few minutes. But yeah, we have that demon that's coming up. Hey, great to see you, Brad. Thanks for stopping by, man. So tomorrow's going to be the demon. Thursday is going to be this 66 Malibu 2-in-1 kit. We're gonna take a look at that, and then what else we got going on? I think that's about it for right now. So, well, guys, I've kept you long enough. Thanks for joining me this morning on this live version. We decided to go ahead and do it live because, well, it's just been too busy for me to do anything else, do any editing. I still have tomorrow's show to put together, and before tomorrow's show, putting it together, I've got to finish the demon. It's still not completely done. So yeah, the clock just keeps a rolling. Let's put it that way. We will see you guys tomorrow for the main show. Next week for morning coffee, and who knows what we'll do. So take care. Thanks for joining us.